the same principle for the steering
Right.
in a way, but instead of the paddle, you offset it. Instead of the paddle being here,
Yeah.
do you know how to steer at the back like a rudder?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we'll get your paddle in that position, but it's more.
Like that, or away from you like that, or just tipping it like that, or both.
You can feather it at the back like that.
Yeah.
I've started to feather mine because I find it easier.
What then? Okay.
Yeah, and then it sort of helps it to keep straight.
Right.
But it's more trunk rotation, and it's more sort of out
And that
here.
feathering is as good as doing like that.
Yeah.
Steering like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's another technique as well.
It is another technique, but I've found it easier to feather it because you can. With the feathering, you can have it like this,
Right.
and then just go like that.
Yeah.
But
Very
it's
little effort.
but it's more easier when it's in this position because it sort of holds it in.
Right.
But you get a feel of it. And don't forget, you don't need to go paddle fast. It's about control of the boat because the water's so light. So Dave, use this line here. That's good, isn't it? You're feathering it as well, aren't you?
Yeah, that worked better that time.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just felt better.
Well, because you're feathering it at the back, you've got your paddles out here, and because you're going, like that in a way, feathering it like that, in a sense, you're doing the same. It's more of a subtle action, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than coming in and out like that.
Yeah. I'll try the other side.
Yeah. And again, use the line. You don't need to, as I say, you only need to paddle halfway down, get a feel of it. Yeah. Are you up here regularly now? I'll review where you're at. There's a couple of things I need to go through with you. But I'm just sort of tidying up a couple of things with Nigel with Dave at the moment. I've got all the ticks that you've done, but we'll review those ticks that you've done, then add a couple of more things. Good. We'll fix another sort of course up for you next year. You don't have to do it immediately, but we'll sort it up for next year because there's bound to be, quite a few more want to do it. Well, it happens like that, Asa. Yeah. 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 Right. Dave's going to demonstrate how to steer. You haven't done steering. So explain to Asa how you steer. You've done a hanging draw, haven't you? No, he's done a hanging drawer.
Yeah. On my own version.
Right. So, demonstrate a hanging drawer, Dave, to Asa, and then you know, it's just as a review for Asa to remind her. Right. Well, yeah, there was a few obstructions, wasn't there? So with the hanging drawer, you offset your boat by a sweep, and then so the boat's going up an angle. So if we were following this line here, Asa, he's offset the boat like that, and he's plonked his paddle in there at the front. So the boat should go like this. Was drip, drip, yeah. But you keep in that position. Right. So that. See if you can do. Remember if you can do one now. Use this line down here if you can. And Dave will assess you if you've got it right. Come on, Dave, you're assessing him. Right. No, it doesn't matter if it's too much. It's because the time.
Sweep it on the right side.
Yeah.
And then keep the paddle in the water.
Would.
Which is how I do. I take
Yeah.
it out, shove it in, and it takes so much of the energy out. I slow down motion because I think that is a sweep, and then just keep it in. And
Yeah. Okay. Would you say anything about the pace of the paddle, the power of the paddle in here?
Yeah, maybe a bit fast because it's lighter water.
You'd speak to the Asa.
John say because it's lighter water, you can practice it at a lot slower speed.
Right.
So just nice slow speeds, and then still flying. It helped me like helped me to kind of just get the knack of it.
You got better. It gives you time to think about it, and you've got better control. Right. So, Dave, what's the difference between doing a hanging draw and the stern rudder? How would you just describe? I mean, are you still offsetting? Are you? Do you offset the boat? Do you sweep and offset it?
On the stern rudder, no, you're just using your body, the shifting momentum, or you're shifting your body weight to kind of edge the boat.
Well, you could do.
Could you edge it? Could you?
But I offset mine. I find I find it in my Dagger Nomad. I offset it.
Right.
Right. So where else is crucial? So you got the offset. What does the paddle do, Dave? Explain to. If we're going, you've offset it like that. Explain to Asa what you do with the paddle.
On the stern rudder.
Yeah. Show Dave what you would do with the paddle. Yeah. You get a feel of it when you're doing it. The other thing about it is said to use as a judge. Use this line here to see if you can go in a straight line. Okay, so both you have a go at it. Right, so really it's a matter of practice on both sides now.
Yeah,
So
I think that's a good one to like practice when you just go down some like gentle grade 2
yeah,
flows,
yeah,
grade 2, grade 3 flows.
that's what I do.
Just quickly
Yeah.
down some rapids. Like
Yeah.
rapids and just
I'll tell you where I used it, on Serpent's Tail. The first time I came down there, because the Serpent's Tail has changed, and it drove me into the rock, and I came out my boat. I did it again, but something in my head clicked to make sure that my paddle, you know the overhang at the bottom, if you've done the tail, you know the overhang at the bottom of the tail. So I switched over to a left-hand stern rudder. So I steered underneath the, it pushed me over towards it, but I steered on the left side, and it helped me to guide through the overhang there.
It's quite difficult to get through that,
Yeah. Anyway, practice both sides, because you need to be proficient at both sides. And then I'm going to test, put a little test in for you, both of you. That's much better, Ace, isn't it? Nice and smooth that is, both of you.
Yeah, I think I was giving too much offset before.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you get a feel of it, how much offset you need to do. Right. Test.